Good evening, gamers! Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Thanks so much for tuning in. Hello. How are you today? Thanks so much. Hello. Hello, everyone. How are you? It's Monday. It's the Monday show. It's an exciting day. It's an exciting day. Hello, hello, hello. There's lots to talk about today. Loads and loads. But if you don't know, my name's Mikey. Welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for tuning in. Just let the volume out. Doing the drama, doing the goss. We've got lots of gossip to go over. Lots of drama. I've made a big doo-doo. And I think a lot of other channels have also made a big doo-doo. So we've got to go over that today. I'm doing the thumbnail. There we go. It's a thumbnail. But welcome. Yes, I'm on time. I know. What crazy content. I just went live. I'm live now. So welcome to the stream. If you don't know, if you haven't tuned in, my name is Mikey. Welcome to Hellstormwargaming. I stream every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On the Monday show, we talk about things that are happening in the Warhammer community, drama, usually, and just generally things that I find interesting. So thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know who you are and where you're watching from. If you're watching this live, if you're watching this back, then leave a comment about your favourite thing that's happened. I've started doing this new thing on live streams where I leave a big red ball at the beginning of the title. Because people are complaining that they're like, oh, I thought it was a video and it's 4 hours long. It's not a 4-hour video, it's a live stream, okay? So it's a big red thing when it's a live stream. I've also added timestamps for the interesting things. Because the first 30 minutes of the stream are me talking to chat and saying hello. So hello, chat. Hello, how are you doing? Let's go rice cooker stream. We're not doing a rice cooker stream, okay? We're not doing a rice cooker stream. Welcome. Look at this guy on time. I know, crazy. Rice cooker. No. Look. Right, okay. If you don't know, there's a big discussion in the members area of the Discord, !Discord, about rice cookers. Okay? Jokes aside. Well, there's no joke. I just replied to Rob. He ran an event and he had a rice cooker as a prize, which I thought was really funny. Okay? And everyone's like, Mike, you need to buy a rice cooker. And funnily enough, we burnt a pan cooking rice the other day and I can't get it off. So maybe I do need a rice cooker. Okay? It's not very funny. It's just the thing. So that if you're wondering why everyone's talking about rice cooker, that's why. Okay? Welcome to the rice cooking stream. All right? New member goal. Rice cooking stream. I want to say massive thank you to the 3 consistent members. Look at that. We've got 3? I think 3. 2. Can't count. Free Radio Armageddon. Thank you very much for the 15 months. Thank you so much. I'm just here for the orange paper. No orange paper today, I'm afraid. No orange paper. Okay. But thank you for the 15 months. Really appreciate it. 15 months of freeloader. And also Detnal at Team Saucepan. 7 months. His contribution to today's stream is Team Saucepan. Right, guys. Are you a saucepan rice cooker? Or are you a rice cooker? That's the question. Okay. There's a bit of a rice cooker meta developing on the old Discord. Congress Dewey, thanks for the whole year. Now 3. Thanks for the whole year, buddy. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I actually have Congress Dewey for my birthday. Because I've told people I've been watching FNAF Lore. Right. I've now Congress Stewie bought me a very nice present of a Five Nights at Freddy's blanket that is now adorned on this chair. So we now have in this Hellstorm cinematic universe, FNAF is real. If you were keeping track, okay. Andy, thanks for the 17 months. Prize for best rice cooker at All Stars. You want a prize for the best rice cooker? What you all going to turn up with rice cookers, and you're going to be like, guy, Mikey, can you judge which one's the best? You want me to judge rice cookers? Like, how am I going to do that? I'm going to like eat the rice. You're going to like cook the rice on the spot. Who does it fastest? Who's got the fluffiest rice? Bro. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Anyway, if you're not in the Discord, you probably need to be there because it's fucking wild. It's fucking wild. All right. Mike and Googling, can I get sick from eating rice? But also, Detnal, shadow round is who can make the best rice. That would be a sick shadow round. The thing is with it is that can I steal that? Because Rob did that. He's already done that. He gave away a prize, right? Okay, let me show you the tweet, all right? Let me show you the tweet that has started this conversation, right? I replied to one tweet. It was Rob Science from Honest Wargamer, right? And he said, standings at the end of day 1, playing for the best rice cooker top prize. This is first place. I thought it was funny. I thought that was funny. Just give it away. This is what a fucking recession looks like, okay? Playing for basic necessities for food cooking, right? This is what a recession looks like. Warhammer, but win household goods, okay? And I said I'll kill for a rice cooker because I thought it was cool. And now everyone in the Discord is kind of like, Mikey, you need a rice cooker. And I'm like, why do I need a... Why is this a thing? Yeah, rice cooker's cool, you know? We do make a lot. I do like rice. Rice is good. It goes with a lot of things. But I'm just a bit like, why a rice cooker? Speaking of which, if you want me to steal this idea, there's a pinned comment called Grab Event Tickets. The best events in the UK, the best 40k events in the world are being run again. 3 events, 1 in April, 1 at the end of August, and 1 in November. You can grab a ticket today. It'd be really cool. They're suitable for beginners, intermediary, and expert players. If you consider yourself an expert, you better come win. And if you consider yourself a beginner, you're going to have a great time. There's those cool people coming. That'd be really cool. Okay, that's a little push. That's what I need to tell you. And I also need to say thank you to Alchemist Dave for the 3 months. Saucepan, but soak the rice for first. Game changer. Right, so look, okay, you've tuned into the live stream, okay? This is where we go off the rails before we go back on topic, okay? There's some very serious things to talk about, okay? We're going to talk about the YouTuber drama from last Wednesday. The big drama being someone decided to wait until I stopped streaming before they did a big announcement. Cringe, okay? We're also going to talk about how I have promoted something that I'm very sad about, that I feel really bad about. And so do Games Workshop, okay? They're the big headlines. But the first headline is I like to put like a thumb, put the rice in the pan and then put like the end of my thumb depth of water on top. And then just let it boil, okay? Let it simmer for like 10 minutes. And then when it's done, after 10 minutes, turn the hob off, but leave the lid on, right? Because it steams the rice and it goes really sticky and really good, okay? I feel that's the best way to cook rice. However, if you leave it on too long, there's no water left, okay? So you burn the rice. But also I've got an electric cooker, so I have to turn it off earlier than you would think because I leave it on the hob. But the hob is hot because it's electric, okay? This is very important. So then if you leave it on too long, it burns and sticks to the bottom of the pan. That's no good, okay? So maybe I need a rice cooker. But I don't want... Please don't send a rice cooker to my house, okay? Lots of random things keep sending up on my house. I'm not endorsing it. I'm not showing it off. If you send a rice cooker, I will use it, but I will not say thanks, okay? I will not tell you it's arrived. I will not say thank you. Please stop sending random things to my house. It's getting very strange. Anyway, that's where we're at with the rice baby, okay? ASMR rice cookie stream. We're adding it as a member goal. Speaking of, we do have a member goal. As you can see, our current member goal is Chat Choosers List Battle Report. It'll be a battle report that is live streamed where chat, you guys, or the Discord more specifically, get to choose the lists that are used in the battle report and maybe even a selection of opponents to choose from as well. I'm basically trying this new thing out. I've just posted on the Discord all of the goals that I have in mind. But look, let me do a bit of e-begging, okay? Need to do a little bit of e-begging because I got bills to pay, all right? Okay. So, you might remember I streamed an Old World Battle Report a couple of weeks ago, okay? Like just over a week ago. Now, the game is now members only, so you can watch it if you remember, gifted or higher. But I'm actually having it edited, okay? The game is being edited, so it's like a watchable video. So they'll be free to watch. And I don't really want to charge for member-only battle report streams. But what I'm doing is going, here's a live stream. You can watch it for free. Then it's going to go member-only. And then it's going to come out as a video. Very cool, very epic, okay? Now, the problem is my gear is like choking, okay? So obviously I have a little studio, We've got a little place in my studio. We got all the room in Sanctuary. Used to be a kitchen, right? Converted it out. Looks really cool. Look how sick it is, okay? Look, it's pretty. If you've not seen this before, there it is. We actually got less members than the member goal that we had when we did this stream, okay? But the problem is my gear is bottlenecking. Now, if I've spoke about this on Discord already, but I just wanted to show you why I'm being a bit beggy and having to do it. But look, basically, we were recording the game whilst playing it, so we could release it as a battle report later, right? I'm just going to mute the sound just because I get a bit frustrated. As you can see, right? Whilst I want to release this as a video, and it will be released as a video with a PSA about this, as you can see, it's... Where's the dice rolling? The dice rolling is really bad. As you can see, it's a bit... You know, this is probably not the best example, actually. That there is a bad... There's a good example. Can you see how it's like watching a slideshow? That's because my laptop is literally setting on fire. My laptop's literally setting on fire to a point where it can't keep up with, like, running the cameras, okay? So, there's supposed to be a smooth transition there. I'm supposed to be moving normally, but as you can see, it's like stop motion, okay? I look like Wallace and Gromit. So, I've had this idea where I need a little bit of investment, so I'm trying to push member goals so I can promise content by hitting goals, okay? Because everybody asks for memberships, you know, everyone e-begs, we've all got to do it, we're all YouTubers, we all want free money, okay? It's just how it works. I'm trying to, like, say thank you for, like, helping me reach goals, and the more goals I can reach, the more I can invest in the channel, so I really need a new computer. New computers are very expensive. So what I'm trying to do is kind of like, here, guys, here's all this cool content I've got planned. We will do it if we hit the goals. If we hit the goals, I can make it really cool because you know, financial investment and all that shit. Okay. So that's kind of like where we're at. So I've got to plug. It'd be cool if you want to become a member. That'd be really cool. If you're not a member already, you can become a member as little as £1.99 a month. If you are already a member, you can gift memberships to someone else and let someone else become a member for 30 days. They get access to the member only streams post game. Look at that. Jamartin, thank you so much for the 5. 5 gifted. Look at that. What a boy. Kicking us off. That is amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay. You are a star. You are a babe. Okay. Because I used to just like, let's hit 15 members for no reason. And now I'm like, here's a bit of a bigger goal, but here's some like cool ideas. We're going to do it. Okay. That's the plan. All right. So I hate asking. I know it's e-begging. I know it's annoying. But if you like what I do, if you enjoy what I do and you want to see cool things, then that is really, really cool. Okay. And that's like the best way to do it. Also, Marty Marv, thank you for the 5 as well.
Rejoined.
Holy shit. Thank you so much. Thank you. Look at that. Look at that. Come together, baby. Thank you so much. Also, Georgie says, correctly, please become members, guys. I need something to play Baldur's Gate 3 on. Yes, yes. So Georgie can play Baldur's Gate. Also, I can do the content that you want, you know. If you've just been given a member, if you've just been gifted a membership, then thank you so much. Welcome to the Discord. If you've just been gifted a membership, make sure you join the Discord by typing !Discord, or there is a link in the description. You now get access to the members only area for 30 days where you can decide content that's coming up, joining in the Rice chat. That is the Rice General. That's what we'll start calling it. Okay.
Rejoined.
And that'd be cool. How high are you speccing this stream machine? So basically, I'm running the studio off a laptop. I can't do that. The laptop can't keep up. So I'm going to have to buy a PC to move a PC over to the studio. I'm currently running the studio off a laptop, which isn't working. It was fine. No, it's not. So I basically need a new PC. So I'm going to probably buy a pre-built PC and just move it there. So you've just been gifted a membership. Make sure you say thank you. Martin and Marty Marv, thank you so much for the 5 gifted each. That is very, very kind of you. Very, very kind of you. Thank you so much. So yeah, you can become members as little as £1.99, or you can gift just like Jamartin and Marty Marv did. You let someone else become a member. They get to join the community for 30 days. Maybe then they'll be like, oh, wow, actually, this is a really cool community. I should continue to join this and maybe let someone else in as well. It's kind of like a helpful supporting network. That's why we ask for gifted memberships. I don't like asking for direct donations. I'd rather someone like gift a membership to someone and let someone else become a member, because at least you're getting a little something back. There's member-only videos, member-only live stream, post-live streams anyway, and there's Discord access as well. And you get emotes in chat, which is cool. That's what Des, thank you so much for the 5. I'm going to like that super chat. Thank you so much. It should come through any second now. Any second now. It's going to be like, bam. Bam. God damn it. Okay. Anyway, pretend this is a membership. Can't be asked to start my PC. Thank you so much, Des. You were a star. Super chats and memberships are the best way to support me. I really, really appreciate it. There it is.
This is a membership. I can't be asked to start my PC.
Thank you so much, baby. Appreciate it. Stream is running on the laptop PNG that's in the newsroom overlay. The tiny laptop in the newsroom overlay is running the stream. All right. Okay. That's why it's all bottlenecked. So basically, I just need to do a big upgrade in the studio. If you like live games and stuff like that and you want to support it, that's the best way. So apologies for begging. I do have to ask. It's one of those things. It's if you like what you see, support it type deal, you know? So thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Okay. For as little as £1.99, you too can feed this man rice, but not the good kind. This is an instant microwave meal. Thank you for the 27 months, Niall. And thank you for your very kind message. I don't understand why everyone's obsessed with rice. Why are you obsessed with rice? Memes channel. Why is there a tier list for rice? S tier. Basmati boil in a bag. And a saucepan. Or is this microwavable rice? What is this? What is this screenshot stuff? What is this screenshot? What is going on? A tier, Russell Hobb and a ninja rice cooker. F tier, a rusty saucepan. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? This is the real way to cook rice. What, am I taking a picture, Jake? Stop sending me pictures of rice. What is going on? Why is everyone just sending me pictures of rice? Forbes personal shopper article best. Where is it? Come here. The best rice cookers based on rigorous testing. Why is the rigorous testing on a rice cooker? The Cadillac of rice cookers that delivers virtually perfect rice. For $200, I hope it does. For $200? Skip if you think an hour. An hour? Why does rice take 1 hour? Why do I care so much? I don't want a rice cooker. I don't understand. That one's 30. All right, that's reasonable. 30. Right, okay. Right. Anyone? That's best for anyone on the budget like me. You prefer a rice cooker with more bells and whistles? What? What bells and whistles are you going to put on a rice cooker? Has it got AI? Oh my god. What is going on? Right, I'm not reading any more of that. Wait, I am a bit. The third one there. A beloved machine that truly does it all for $130. It just makes rice. People won't want appliances that accomplish multiple tasks. What tasks is it doing other than making rice? Cooks with limited counter or storage space. You want the best possible rice that don't need the extra cookie. What cookie features do I need if I'm just making rice? I don't want one. I don't want a rice cooker. I don't understand why this has become a thing. It was a funny joke. A funny little joke about, haha, he's giving a rice cooker away as a prize. That's very funny. Andrew says, look what I made with my rice cooker. Great. Why do I care? Why is everyone just talking about fucking rice cookers? Stop sending me pictures about rice or rice cooking, right? I've had enough. I'm putting my foot down. I'm putting my foot down, all right? I don't care about your rice cooker. I don't care. I do not have the time for your rice cooking, all right? So when he's nicked me and commissioned my bride to paint a mini rice cooker. If I am given a model with any reference to rice, okay, I will throw it at the person who gives it to me. You racist, for fuck's sake. If anyone makes a model that has got a rice cooker or has rice or is eating rice, I will throw it back at you and I'll say no thank you. Please. I'm sorry. This is what it's for. Don't care. It was just a funny... It was a funny prize, okay? And it was someone else's joke. It was someone else's... It's not even our joke. We can't take that joke like that. You put the rice in and then forget about it for hours. How many hours are you cooking rice for? David, thanks so much for becoming a member, you fucking legend. Thank you so much. Wait, you stole it? No, I didn't steal it. It's just someone else's joke that the Discord has latched onto like a bloodsucker, like a rice-eating leech. I can't wait to give you a rice cooker model when I finally visit at All Stars 2 Galaxy Electric Boogaloo. Can't wait, mate. Be great to meet you. Be great. Be great. Great time. Rice also makes great basing material. Don't you dare. Don't you dare base your models with rice. Please, for the love of God. Please, for the love of God. Okay? How do I make a clip? Click the scissors. Is your tournament in April at Sanctuary? Sure is, buddy. It sure is. So yeah, so one in April, one in November, both at Sanctuary. The one in August is in Sheffield. There are no scissors on my screen. Hey Martin, don't make me do this. Don't make me do this. You watch a stream. Let me get it up. I'm getting it. Okay. Look, you go here. Oh, wait. Where's the clip gone? Oh, it's there. Look, it says clip. Scissors. Clip. I'm making a clip of how to make a clip. Then you can change how long you want it. You change how long you want it. You add a title. And then you share it to the Discord, okay? Exclamation point Discord and put it in stream clips. That's what the channel's there for. For some reason, everyone's just posting other people's streams there. Can I get my Necrons back now? They're good. No way, Demo. Sorry, bud. Sorry, bro. Sorry, bro. No backsies. Mikey viewer numbers going down the longer he talks about rice. I know. I know. You just want my channel to die, chap. You want me the channel to die, but you want me to have good rice. I'm very conflicted. Okay. You're like, rice joke funny, get good rice. And I'm like, I do like rice, but I don't know if I need a rice cooker. And then everyone else is leaving. So there's about 4 people and me all talking about rice. Okay. I found a rice cooker STL and Thingiverse. I'm just gonna kill myself. Okay. Is that what you want, guys? The severe lack of judgment wasn't about rice, by the way. Just want to clarify. Also, Steve, thank you so much for the 5 donation, bud. Really appreciate you.
Mikey, I've bought a big bag of rice, but I'm not sure if I can store it correctly. Does rice stack with all its dust so I can slot it in the cupboard?
Right, we're putting the TTS limit up. TTS will now only be £9. Okay? My eyes hurt. My eyes hurt so much. I shouldn't have done that. I did that thing, you know, where you start traveling through a gold tunnel and you poke your eyes. I haven't done that in a long time. My eyes really hurt. We're putting the TTS number up. Okay? The TTS is too damn low. What was the drama from last week? The drama last week, we were talking about... Oh, you mean I'm going to talk about tonight? 4 minutes. We'll do that. I can tell you about last Monday. But as you know, if you've ever watched the stream, we talk shit for the first 30 minutes. Then I ignore everybody and I tell them... I rant. All right? Travel through a gold tunnel. What the fuck is that? Have you never, like, poked your eyes? All right, okay. To a point where it all goes funny and it looks like you're traveling through the warp, but it's gold. You know? Have you never done that before? Make sure you do ignore me. I do, Oscar. True. True. I ignore you all the time. I was jumping between you and Varak so you both like each other off. Oh, it's mostly about Major Kill, and then Varak would use me as clickbait, and then he wouldn't answer my phone. Answer his phone, my phone call. So I called him a little bitch. That was mostly it. You must be dying. All I see is black. If you close your eyes, all you see is black. But if you poke them, they start going funny colours. Right? I used to do that as a kid. Right? Because... story time. So I used to have to do prayers at school. Because I was born in the 90s and that's what you did. It wasn't a Christian school, wasn't a Catholic school, but they did do prayers every Friday, right? And as a kid, you used to have to like hold your hands in front of you, you know, and then close your eyes. But everyone used to do this. So I thought everyone was like poking their eyes like this. And then I would, whilst they were doing the prayer, because I'm not religious, I would like be traveling through like a gold tunnel. And then by that, I mean, I was poking my eyes so they'd go funny colours, okay? And I don't have eye problems, and maybe that's why, okay? I don't need glasses, and maybe that's why. I can't be the only one who did that, okay? So it goes like gold and sparkly, but it also kind of looks like a tunnel. Not like a cave, but like a video game tunnel, if that makes sense. Mikey tell you chat about sells their eye shaking my head. Listen. Mikey was reaching divinity. You know what, Zap? You're right. You're so right to say it. Okay. I think that's called the tism. Anyway. I know what you mean. Lehman Ross. One person understands. Right? I too put my eyes into weird colors. Yes! See? I'm not crazy. There's 2 people. That's like not 1% of chat. I think. 1 and a bit % of chat. I didn't have prayer school from a nice country. You know what? Fair. But this is like when I was really young. But yeah, it wasn't like a Catholic school. It's just a primary school. But they used to do prayer every Friday. I know what you mean. Still makes you a weirdo. Listen. Listen. I don't do it now, but I did just do it then when I got annoyed, okay? I think it's the blood rushing to my eyeballs. Look, this is the prime entertainment you get on Hellstormwargaming, okay? I can't even say my own channel, I'm that fucked. This is the prime content you got on Hellstormwargaming. None of this was fucking start the stream, start talking about Warhammer straight away. No one cares, right? What you get is relatability, unlike other out of touch channels. Okay, so if you haven't already, please subscribe, like the stream, that'd be cool. Because I'm going to be asking for your forgiveness very soon. Okay, I don't do it now. Clip picture. How can 2 people be 1 and a bit % if there's only 24 likes in the stream? Doesn't seem right. That's true. Like the stream if you haven't already. Jamartin, I'm not going to justify that with an answer. Shut up. Stop buying me rice cookers. I don't want one. It's the pressure on your cornea, I think. Yeah, probably. What snake have I been slinging? Right, we got some important drama to talk about. Now, I'm going to stand up because I feel more energetic when I stand up. Okay? I feel better. I feel one with chat. You know? If I stand up with you guys, you're all sat down on your ass. I'm stood up. I can lord over you. Get it? Because they've just been talking about prayer. And also the lighting's a lot better. So it's better for clips. Okay. So, if you've not tuned into a Hellstorm stream before, this is the time we start doing a little bit of drama. Okay? He's more serious when he stands up. I do get more serious. It's when I start ignoring chat. Okay. So, on Wednesday, I stream, all right? So I just want to put a little PSA out there. If there's any channels out there that are planning on doing some crazy announcements, right? Last thing Tuesday night, first thing Monday morning, okay? Tuesday morning, sorry. First thing Wednesday, oh my God. Last thing Tuesday night, first thing Wednesday morning, so I can cover it on the morning news. So I stream every single Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. GMT or BST, depending what time of the month, time of the year it is.
I like big bags of rice and I cannot lie, all you other brothers can't deny. When a bag walks in with an itty bitty microwave time and big taste in your face, you add chicken, and hope it's not tough.
When a bag walks in with an itty bitty microwave. What are we even doing? Why don't you guys do this stream? All right. Why am I even here? What am I doing with my life? Why are we so obsessed with rice? Rice. When a bag walks in with an itty bitty microwave, Niall, you're onto something so good. You're onto something so good. And the big taste in your face, great. You add chicken and hope it's not tough. All right, bit of a stretch. I like big bags of rice and I cannot lie. It is amazing. But when he walks in with an itty bitty microwave. That was a very rice pun. Okay. Thanks for the 10 now. Appreciate you. Listen, I'm literally losing viewers by the second, right? Let's get into the drama. All right. So, let me start again. If you're a YouTuber that's about to make a huge announcement, please make it either Monday morning, Tuesday last thing, or Wednesday first thing, okay? Because I can't cover the drama if I've just stopped streaming. I'm off for the rest of the day, and then I go out, and then you drop an important announcement regarding Peachy Tip / painting face, okay? Did it take an hour to cook that one up? Anyway. So you might... I want to talk about this, but I also want to preface this with that I am friends with all three people involved in this drama. And there is a little bit of drama. But I have spoken to all the people as well. I'm not going to be revealing any details about what I've said to them personally or what they've said to me personally. But I'm going to be talking about like the public announcements that have been made. And just have a chat about it, like read between the lines a little bit. I don't want to like cause drama with anyone because I don't really like choosing sides. I don't think sides are a thing. But I think it's just been a little bit interesting. I thought we could have a look. And it's been like 4-5 days. Okay, it's old news. We're gonna just talk about it a little bit. But there was an announcement yesterday. And I just wanted to like talk about that as well, because just like everyone else, they jump on the sensationalism of talking about the initial announcement. Don't wait for the second announcement, which is always adds some more context. And that came out yesterday, and no one else has covered it. So this is hot goss. Okay, so you might have seen last Wednesday evening, Chris Peach, or Peach as you are probably more accustomed to, announced that he was leaving the painting phase. Now, he put on notes app screenshots, which you know it's always going to be a banger. Notes app screenshots. But the long and short of it is, he made an announcement, I've left the painting phase. So the painting phase being Peachy, Pat, and Jeff, a channel that does podcasts, it does tutorials, it does painting videos and stuff like that. I've been on the painting phase as a guest. Great time. Had a great time. All three of them were there. We had a little conversation. Actually, I've been asked to go on again, which I am. Hopefully, we're trying to like work a date out at the minute. But I was asked before this, and then we kind of like been like scrambling trying to put something in. But I'm probably going to be on again, which is cool. So he says I have an important announcement to make. It is with a heavy heart that I must bid farewell to the painting phase. And again, it's like a channel that like Peachy joined kind of like right at the start of the painting phase. I think, let's have a look. I think the painting phase were around for... Let's have a look. I got the stats up here. They started... That's not right. There it is. They started around like early 2022. I think it was like March 2022. And then for the first 8 months, they basically gained a few subscribers, like a couple of thousand subscribers. I think it was like 7,000. And then when Peachy joined in October 2022, they skyrocketed from 7,500 to like 40,000 in a month, basically. And then they continue to skyrocket to like 80,000 or 85,000 to this point, around also. For Peachy being there for about 15 months in total. So he joined October 2022 and left January 2024, or February 2024, sorry. So, wasn't it almost a year? Let me double check. How long were they going before Peachy joined? So the channel was made. Does it still tell you? It used to tell you. April 2022. He joined October 2022. So 6 months, basically, without Peachy. And then 6 months later, Peachy joined. And then they went from like 5,000 subscribers very quickly to 40, very quickly to 60, very quickly to 80. So they're like 84,000 subscribers now. But it says, when offered the opportunity to join the channel over a year ago, I relished a chance to do something I love with a friend, spreading that love to the gaming community and hopefully bringing back more enjoyment to others in the hobby, both inside and outside of the world of Warhammer. So obviously Peachy was working for GW, he left GW, and then like a month later he announced that he was joining the painting phase, and they put like a big video out and stuff like that. Yeah, as time passed, it became increasingly evident that despite my contributions, dedication, and loyalty, it would be never evolve into something that I would be considered to be an equal partner in. I will always remain driven by the vision of the aspiration of the original creator. Now, I am a bit conflicted about that last sentence. As I said, I know all three of these people. I don't want to be casting shade or aspersions or anything like that. But that sentence did stand out to me. I was very surprised that Peachy wasn't like wasn't a main stakeholder in this channel, you know, because I think Peachy brought a lot to the channel in terms of his name, obviously being quite famous in the Warhammer community because he worked for GW, just like everyone else who worked for GW and then started a YouTube channel very successfully, deservedly so, a lot of the time. But they've all done quite well, and like Peachy brought a lot to that. I brought a lot of, drew a lot of eyes to that channel. I should say, and he also brought a lot of contacts as well. It feels like.
For stream, pick your side. 1 Peachy tips, 2 painting phase, 3 big bag of rice with an itty bitty microwave.
Steve, thanks for the 5, mate. Right, okay. I'll let you all vote. How about that? 1. Peachy tips. 2. Painting phase. I'll let you vote. How about that? 3. Big bag of rice with an itty bitty. I don't know how you get a itty bitty microwave. I can't put microwave because there's not enough characters, so I'm going to put itty bitty bag of them. There we go. I'll let you guys vote. So yeah, like this last sentence is like quite surprising again because Peachy brought a lot. He brought a lot of eyes to the painting phase, which they were getting eyes already. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to like belittle their achievements just because Peachy joined. They're obviously doing all right. 6 months in, had like 5,000 to 7,000 subscribers, which is really good. I think that's more than I had in my first 6 months, for example. They had like a short that really blew up, which was really good for them. But they were on like pretty consistent growth. And then when Peachy joined, they had like a bit of like a skyrocket growth. Again, understandably, it's Peachy from Warhammer TV who's joining, you know. The joke he made himself, it's not Duncan, but it is Peachy, you know. I think he also brought like a lot of contacts in, because like a lot of the most popular podcasts that they do, the Sidetracked podcast, because I watch pretty much every Painted Face video, you know. I'm like good friends with them. I'm also a big fan of what they do. I think Peachy brought in a lot of contacts, like ex-GW staff members, ex-GW designers. The big ones, the product designer Tom, like he was obviously like good friends with Peachy. That's why he's been on twice. From the outside looking in, that's what it looks like. I've never actually specifically said who's bringing these guests. You know, who is actually bringing these guests? But I thought it seems like from the outside that Peachy was bringing a lot. So I was very surprised to learn from this statement and from other comments on other social medias from the Painted Face himself that Peachy was, I think, essentially a member of staff rather than like a main stakeholder, you know, like someone like kind of involved but working for them probably on a salary rather than like a, you know, like equal shareholder, if that makes sense, you know. I'm trying to be nice because I'm friends with these people. Again, I don't want to cast aspersions. I was just very surprised, you know, personally. It was all the GW behind the scenes kiss and tell gossip. Yeah, exactly. It's that's a lot of what the Painted Face do. Now I will go out there on record and say I'm concerned about the longevity of that. I hope they can continue doing it, but I do feel a lot of that. I personally think, I don't know, that a lot of that came from Peachy. I'd be very interested to see how they do. Obviously, they're having me on, so they're going to have excellent guests on, you know. But, yeah, it's just very, very, very surprising, that sentence. That one really stood out to me. But then he says, and so after much reflection, I've made the difficult decision to step away. It's not my choice made lightly, but one based on my drive to pursue authenticity and create fun, engaging content that I will hope others will enjoy and will support them on their own hobby journeys. As I embark on this new chapter, I carry with me the cherished memories and lessons learned from the Painted Face, and I wish the channel well. Yeah, I'm also excited about the prospect of charting my own course of creating something that reflects my unique visions and value. I extend my sincerest gratitude to all those who have supported me on this journey thus far. Your encouragement and understanding mean the world to me. And now I part ways with the Painted Face. I hope you will continue and accompany me on the path ahead. My new venture and channel, Peachy Tips. Or PG Tips, so the joke is because he likes tea. So yeah, I was a bit conflicted reading that because of the fact that there was kind of like that interesting sentence. And Peachy went on to make his own new channel. He's got like a trailer on there. He's got like 20,000 subscribers already, and he's not actually launching till March. But he's launched a Patreon, and he's launched a new channel early. But the Painted Face didn't have any comment, and they only responded yesterday, which I thought was very surprising. I was surprised that the Painted Face didn't respond immediately, didn't respond the next day, and then they only responded yesterday. And they did have a good response, to be fair. Obviously, like, flobulated it in the past 5 days. But I was very surprised to see that they didn't say anything for a while. Which also makes me think that Peachy might have launched this without them knowing. I think there's probably a lot to be said there that Peachy wanted to get the drop by the sounds of it. But again, I know all these people. I'm trying to be like, not overanalyze it too much. And I don't want to be like people like start picking sides. I'm purely as a viewer, you know, trying to say, I thought that was interesting, you know. All their biggest videos are organised interviews by Peachy from XGW staff. Maybe, but then again, I don't know Pat's in the connections, you know. Pat obviously used to work at Games Workshop himself. And obviously Peachy was a bit more well-rooted there because he's been there for so long. But it's not like Pat doesn't know anyone, you know. But I thought it was quite interesting, you know, that they didn't say anything for a long time. I thought that was quite bizarre, to be honest. I was surprised they didn't say anything the next day, or the day after, or the day after. And then when they did announce something on Sunday, I was like, oh, okay. Pat was only there for a year. Pat wasn't there for very long, you know. Pat definitely wasn't there for very long. Haven't they just paid out for a new studio? I imagine it's rented rather than I don't think they've just gone out and bought one. But yeah, they just have had a new studio, which is quite surprising. Again, having this announcement so soon, because they've only been there like a couple of months, I think. Maybe like the last 5 to 10 videos are all in this new place. Yeah, weird, basically. Yeah, very, very, very odd. But the Painting Phase didn't say anything on their YouTube channel. They did release 2 videos with Peachy in, but obviously these were filmed before the announcement. But basically 2 videos were released with Chris in, and these are the last ones. And they did have a small announcement, which they did announce the next day, but it's kind of like a very small thing, saying, this is the last painting video with Peachy filmed in the Painting Phase. Please go subscribe to his new channel, Peachy Tips. And obviously lots of people having lots of their own opinions down in the comments. But yeah, they seemed pretty like, yeah, go subscribe and stuff like that. But they did put out an Instagram post yesterday, which was... It didn't have any weird sentences in, but it also felt very... Again, as a viewer, I'm trying to keep, like, personal opinions out of it, but, like, as a viewer, it seemed like there's not a lot there, but also maybe they just didn't want to put anything there, or there isn't anything there. We're trying to read too much into it. But it basically says, it is with mixed emotions that we acknowledge the recent departure of Peachy from the team, as sure of you, many of you have seen. While we are saddened to see him leave, we understand and respect his decision to pursue his own path with his own channel and make content in his own manner. Chris's hard work and dedication for his time at the Painting Phase was instrumental in all our success, and both myself and Jeff wish him all the best and all the continued success we know he'll have. Working with Chris has brought many highlights, painting Yellow Marines a bunch of different ways, always stands out as one. What a rating scale. We had fun and hopefully helped lots of paints along the way. I'm sure he'll take his energy and dedication into his future projects. We eagerly await to see what's coming up. All of the best, Chris. You'll smash it. So, yeah, a very nice statement. Again, I was surprised it was like 5 days later, but a very nice statement, and good to see, you know, because we could have had a bitchy statement, you know. Again, if because it felt like Peaches was a bit like, you know, read between the lines, you can kind of understand what's going on. But to have like a nice response back was good, which is cool. I did post a statement on that Discord this evening, but that's not a public statement. That's a private statement if it's in a Discord, right? If I made a statement in a Discord, I wouldn't consider that a public statement, you know? It's interesting how quick he's got everything in place, though. I hope Painting Phase doesn't phase out. Yeah, like, it's actually not that hard to set up Patreon and stuff like that. Anyone can set up Patreon in like 5 minutes, right? It's not like a difficult thing. But obviously, if you're going to launch, then you do need you need to launch with nothing. Now, Peaches dropped a trailer, and he's kind of like said, coming in March. And again, from the statement, and the fact that the Painting Phase didn't respond for a few days makes me think he might have got the drop on them. You know, maybe they were planning on releasing stuff at the same time, and Peachy went a little bit early, which makes me think, makes you wonder why he's put a trailer out saying coming March rather than just launching in March. But maybe he wanted like a little bit of a safety net to see how things go first. I don't know. There's lots of things you can analyze there. I honestly feel a bit weird covering it. As I said, I know these people personally. I consider them friends. Hopefully they still consider me friends after this. So I'm trying not to dig too deep, but just like I'm trying to keep like everything quite surface level because I don't want to like dig deeper and upset anyone. But it is news. It's one of those things you can't really avoid. But I just thought it was interesting, yeah, to like go, I'm not launching any content till March. Here's the channel. Painting Phase, no response for 4 days. 4 or 5 days. Starts making you wonder, basically. In me personally, I think it's the worst way to launch a channel. To launch a channel with no content in this YouTube landscape. Worst idea ever, okay? But he seems to be doing quite well out of it. Because he's Peachy, you know? He's got a lot of people. He knows a lot of people. A lot of people know him. People have been able to share him around. He's like, obviously, other channels have shared him around as well. I'm telling you to go subscribe to him as well. I'll continue subscribing to both channels. That'd be really cool to see. But he's doing all right. He's just, as a YouTuber who analyzes a lot of YouTube, who has been having some plans and some things happening, launching a channel with no content and just a trailer is the worst idea ever. Because to get monetized on YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers, which he's obviously got. You also need like 4,000 watch hours. Okay, and watch hours basically is the amount of hours someone watches your channel for, all added together from everybody. Okay, and if you've got no content, you can't get watch hours, because if you put out 30-second videos, a trailer, you can't build up the hours to get monetized. Because people watch 30 seconds, so you need 2 people to get 1 hour. Okay, so you need 8,000 people to watch it all the way through. But you could put out a video that's 20 minutes long, and they watch 10 minutes, then there's 10 minutes out there, you know? Oh yeah, I just realized I just did a minute. You need 8,000 people for 4,000 minutes. Which is not 4,000 hours. But you get the point. Basically, to get monetized, you need watch hours, and to get watch hours, you need content. Basically, if you're ever going to launch a channel, guys, don't launch with no content. Launch with 2 videos, okay? Because if someone likes the first one, they'll watch the second one as well. There's your trick. There's your trick. You know? There's your advice for becoming a YouTuber. Launch with 2 videos, okay? Now, Peachy's obviously got a track record, so he's probably going to be okay. I'm sure he'll get monetized relatively quickly. But that's just like a thing that as a YouTube advice is usually not the right thing to do, you know? It does feel like it was a little hasty. Yeah, that's what I think. I think it was. It felt a little hasty, in my opinion. You need 480,000 people to watch 30 seconds to get to 4,000 hours. There you go. Thank you for doing the maths. Really appreciate it, Martin. So you think about it. The big thing with like launching channels and stuff like that is the most interest in a channel is when something huge happens. And when something huge happens, you're going to get a lot of views. And the best time to do that is to like launch the channel with content. Because then people will watch the videos because they're interested. So Peach, if you want some YouTube strategizing, you know, you're a lonely sailor. I'm a lonely sailor. Why did I say sailor? Okay. I'm one piece of rice and you're another piece of rice. We're all jumbled up in this bag. Maybe we could hang out. We could work something out. But yeah, so like the most interesting Peachy's channel now is going to be like as soon as he launches it. His first video will probably be, from track record of looking at other channels, to be less fanfare. So if he had videos now, people would be like, oh, it's started his own channel. Oh, I wonder what his video's like, you know? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know? YouTube advice, launch with 2 videos and tweet about rice cookers. Look, the rice thing won't work, okay? Don't launch about rice cookers. All jumbled up in this itty-bitty microwave known as YouTube. There we go. But Painted Face put out a bigger announcement on their Patreon, on their free part of the Patreon. They had a longer statement. It had the same statement, but it also has a little bit more. So I thought we could look at that, which only came out yesterday. This is hot gossip, okay? It is with a mixed emotions that we acknowledge recent departure of Peachy from the team, as I'm sure many of you have seen on his Instagram. While we are sad and seemingly, we understand, we respect decisions, pursue his own path. We've done all this before. Okay. So what's next, basically? This is obviously Pat speaking. The painting phase has transitioned into my main form of employment away from weddings. Jeff does 2 days a week. And we have our new office, which is big enough to accommodate more staff and gaming areas, which is quite interesting, you know? So to say that they're already announcing they've obviously got a big office, they've got a lot more space, more staff and more gaming area is might be alluding to what their plans are. The expansion plans are now on hold, but I think we've got a really ton. The expansion plans are now on hold, but we've got a ton of really exciting videos planned for you to enjoy. The podcast will continue. In time, we'll look for a third voice again. So it looks like Pat and Jeff aren't planning on going solo completely, because they're looking for a third voice. Okay, so anyway, guys, I'm sure they're going to be paying well. I'm sure the audition tapes will be out soon. I might send mine in. All right. You know what? I think I'd be sick as a third host. I think maybe I'm too much of a wild card to be a third host on a podcast. Maybe as a guest. I think I'm a pretty good guest. I don't know if I was like a long-term podcaster. Okay. Perfect job. You do a great podcast. Thanks, mate. Anyway, they're looking for someone else, which might be quite interesting. I'd be very interested to see if they get someone else who's all kind of famous already, like well-known, or someone random, or whether they do. You know? Uncle Roger talks about rice cookers. He has 1,000 more subscribers than you. Great, though. Great. Can Mikey paint? I can paint. I'm an award-winning painter. Okay. Bam. Bam. Also, by the way, ChillCon's next month. Bam. Do I get another one? Bam. Painting videos will continue, but also the style will change. Traditional tutorials were very much Peachy's bag, and we're not trying to emulate his skill. We also don't have it. We just want to have fun, make fun videos, and enjoy ourselves along the way. The painting phase will undoubtedly be different in Peachy's absence, but we're planning for the future and excited what this may bring and look like. If you're planning to stay with us, thank you. We strive for the worthy of your patronage. So then they're basically saying they're looking for a third person video is going to change. So I'm excited to see what they do. Obviously, like, it's going to be hard for them because I think, you know, Peachy brought so much to them in sort of eyes to the field and also contacts and just general talent. And whilst I'm really happy for Peachy to be like doing his own thing, that's cool. I'm very surprised this wasn't his very own thing. Like if he was a member of staff, which it kind of sounds like he was, I'm very surprised at that. But I'm excited to see what the paint phase will do. Whilst I've got an uphill battle, you know, I'm good friends with them. I'm good friends with Peachy. I hope they both succeed. Basically, I don't want either of them to. I don't want either of them to struggle, you know. I want them both to do well. That'd be really, really cool. But it's going to be very exciting to watch. It's going to be very interesting to watch. So I just thought I'd give you my 2 pence on the whole situation. Interesting. I think it'll be interesting whether Peachy kind of borrows from the podcast format, you know. I think that will be very interesting, you know. Very, very interesting. Your jokes will be too intense for the painting phase, but it's perfect for your content. Thanks, mate. Wouldn't it be funny if the rice cooker spies on you? They do have a lot of features that I don't understand, so maybe one of them is a rice spy. As much as you ever want competitors to do well, I don't see like other YouTubers as competitors. I think, especially when it comes to me, like I think my style is very unique compared to other people. I think with YouTube there's a lot more, it's a lot easier to share like viewership and stuff like that. I don't really see other people as competition. I either like them or I don't. It's a little bit more simple than seeing them as like competition. I've obviously got peers that I'm like striving to do as well as. I wouldn't see them as like competition, you know, especially because painting phase is so massive as well. Unique. Yeah, exactly. You don't get fucking rice conversations on any other live stream, do you, dickheads? No one else will go this hard on rice cookers. You know what I mean? I don't know. Is YouTube... Do you have competitors in YouTube? I guess you could say there's competition in terms of like opportunity. You know? Like opportunities may arise only with one type of channel and not the other because of them, you know? Like if a company's wanting to work with channels, they've only got so much budget, they're going to choose different channels. They might not choose you because they chose someone else. That might be a bit annoying. Varric is a competitor. No. No. I'm way out of his league. It's actually ridiculous how much out of his league I am. Varric is a competitor, he's the enemy. True. True. Depends if you have a competitive mindset or a collaborative one. I don't know, actually. I think I probably have a collaborative mindset. The well-known saying goes, there's only so many bags of rice, for fuck's sake. There are only so many gamer dollars to go around all these XGW Patreons. You know what? That's so funny. That's very funny. But anyway, if you haven't already, I'll post Peachy's channel in the chat. You can go subscribe. It'd be cool if everyone subscribed and everyone was a member to me and them on Patreon and etc. But most importantly, me. All right. That's the main one you need to worry about. All right. XGW staff. They're XGW staff. They've got all the GW simps. All right. If you're watching this channel, you need to realize that I am poor. Okay, and I will literally die. So if you'd like to become a member. Get this number to 450, chat choosers lists. It's going to go after today, okay? After today, this member goal is going to disappear. We're going to swap it for a new one, all right? And the member goal will be different. It'll be a different number. It'll probably be higher. Okay. Mikey doesn't like to lose, so he likes to collaborate. I never lost. I've never lost anything. This man needs more rice. Buy every member. Will buy me a bag of rice, chat. One member equal 1 bag of rice. I like how 57% of you want rice, but 35% said peachy chips. I don't know what the poll was about, but 36% said peachy chips and 57% said big bag of rice with an itty-bitty microwave. That's such a corporate move. Hey team, we didn't hit this goal, so here's a new goal, but it's bigger. Yeah, literally. That's the thing. If you don't like this goal, I'll just have to move the goalposts. Okay, the goalposts are clearly moving. That's why I want to get you a rice cooker so you don't starve. You know what? Do you know how I won't starve? Making great content with a new computer, so I need members. Okay, but thank you. Please don't send a rice cooker to my house. I can see Peachy doing a lot of historical wargame stuff that he's really into. I can imagine Pat being quite ruled by the algorithm or what videos they did. You know what? You know what? I think you might have hit the nail on the head there. You know? I think you might have hit the nail on the head. I wonder if... Yeah, maybe. Maybe, actually. Because Peach is obviously well into his historical games, like Napoleonics and stuff like that, or whatever, and Sharp, or all that shit. I wonder if Peach was desperate to do like a historical video, and Pat just didn't want to. Or Pat and Jeff, I should say. That's quite... That could be the thing, you know? Maybe I'll text them now. Hey, Peachy, just between you and me, hold the phone like this. Just between you and me. But maybe that's the reason if you wanted to do historical. We're just theorizing now. Maybe you want to do historical stuff. Maybe it was something else. Who knows? Oh, the Necromunda they have meant to have done a year ago. Look, editing battle reports is hard, okay? I'm not going to criticize him for that. Reminds me of the time where you had us vote on what to do. You didn't like it, so you quit the stream. You know what, Mercenary? I'm just a dictator around here, okay? Peachy's first video could be how to win a historical paint competition with a Brutalis Dreadnought. And I'll copyright claim him, alright? I will copyright claim him. Anyway, that's the thing about painting phase. Interesting to watch. Gonna be interesting to watch. I think I'll probably be on a guest there soon. Should I be a guest on there soon? I hope they put out a podcast before I'm on it. That would be good. It'd be nice if they put out like a podcast video before I was a guest on it again. Like you know, like wait for the dirt to settle time deal. But anyway, chat. Right, I've got a bit of a funny one now. Whatever happened to your gingerbread nut? What do you think happened to it? It went in the bin. It was trash. That shit, as Georgie's dad said. Mikey, that's well shit. That was the response. So it didn't happen, funnily enough. Why is Georgie sending me random pictures of... Georgie's sending me pictures of rice. Look what you did. Stein, thanks so much for becoming a member. Sorry, Stein, thanks so much for gifting the membership. Thank you so much. See, I got it right that time. Stein, all right? Not just Stein. Just Stein. Thank you so much for giving the membership. Jordy Moss, make sure you say thank you for that member. Mikey Hellstorm be like Peachy Who when he's on the painting phase. What happened to Chroma Cut Terrain? The Chroma Cut Terrain, they didn't get funded. It was quite a weird one. Like, because the Chroma Cut terrain was really good. He didn't get funded, so he shouldn't have been charged for it. And yeah, they launched, but then they didn't do any advertising after that, so it flopped. I don't know if that was the reason, but that, to me, that's what it felt like. It felt like they just kind of launched it and then left it. And I did advertising for them. There's a couple of other people that did advertising for them, but they didn't like. They kind of just like sat and watched it, not doing anything. So it didn't end up going through, which is a bit of a shame. It's a shame because it's good terrain, really, really good terrain. Yeah, I backed it as well. I know a lot of people backed it. I think it's a really, really good product, but I don't think they caused enough hoo-ha while the campaign was running. They had lots of good advertising pre. With Kickstarters, in my opinion, it feels like you've got to kind of like make a lot of fanfare while it's on to make people interested, because the biggest days are the first day and the last day. It's a bit steep price-wise. It was a good product, though. The thing is with it is, yeah, it was kind of expensive, but think about how much you spend on models and stuff like that. It's like comparatively probably similar. There's loads of Facebook ads. It was great, but too expensive for TOs. TOs aren't going to make the product. TOs won't make the product, you know? It's the every Tom, Dick and Harry at home, you know? Like people buying to play at home. That's where the products were made or broken. I just don't think they had enough fanfare about the product during the campaign, which didn't help. Their website is down. I don't know about the website and stuff like that. Chemical guys should make old world terrain. Is there any old world terrain? Do you actually use any? Good terrain will outlive your army focus. Hey Mike, how you doing, bud? I don't know what's going on with the company. Anyway, I'm more referring to the Kickstarter that ran and then didn't get funded. I think it's a good product. I think they're on about doing a relaunch, slightly less, slightly cheaper, slightly different. I don't know anything about the company, what's going on with them. But the guy who runs it is a really nice bloke, and he deserves success. So it was a shame not to get it. But there's probably a multitude of factors. Just that, like, as someone who's heavily involved in marketing, that was one thing I was quite surprised at. There was no fanfare during the campaign. Like most Kickstarter campaigns, you get people to sign up, and then you email them every day by doing updates. You know, that's kind of like how you get people to, like, if they haven't done it on the first day, you send them an email every day with daily updates, and then that's how they end up backing it. But there was none of that, which is quite surprising. So, but I don't know. I'm not a Kickstarter guy, so I just like going off what I've seen on other Kickstarters and other projects I've helped and worked with. Maybe it'll come back, maybe it won't. Who knows? I don't know. But obviously, if you did back it, as long as you got your money back, never mind. These great. The campaign wasn't. Yeah, again, one of those. Those type of things are obviously always subjective, but if it didn't fund, there's obviously a reason, you know. Obviously a few things that weren't working and weren't quite right. So I don't know though. I don't know. Anyway, chat. Look. Now this is a PSA. This is a bit of a warning and a bit of a interesting one. Okay. And it's a little bit of a serious topic. But also, jokes aside, I will say I cocked up. I feel like a few people cocked up, which made me not do my due diligence in this regard. You know? So I do want to apologize if you are upset that the fact that I was kind of involved with this because I promoted it. But I think we should chat about it. I think I should bring it up because no one's perfect, basically. Now, this isn't a joke, by the way. This is deadly serious. I've stopped the music for a reason. Okay. So 16th of March 2022, Games Workshop announced they were going to stop selling Warhammer in Russia due to the war in Ukraine. Okay. That's pretty standard stuff. We all know what's going over there. It's very horrific what's happening. There's literally innocent people and just innocent people being killed every day. In many places in the world, sadly, but one of them we all know is obviously Russia and Ukraine. It's pretty horrific. And whilst it was very big news last year and like 2022 when it first kicked off, it's still happening. This is still a thing that's ongoing. You don't hear about it as much anymore, sadly, but it is still happening. Anyway, I was sent an article from the Daily Mail, of all things, okay? A family member sent it through. And I don't like the Daily Mail. I will say that as much. However, it has come to light that a company that Games Workshop has been working with may have ties to Russia, which isn't very good. And one of those companies I've kind of worked with as well. So it's called Hypocrisy Row at Games Workshop over Russia ties. Warhammer owner Games Workshop was coming to fire after teaming up with video game company with ties to Russia. The company stopped selling its fantasy figures in Russia soon after Vladimir Putin launched his invasion of Ukraine in 2022. But it appears that Games Workshop has been licensing its intellectual property to Cyrus-based studio Owlcat Games, which has Russian investors. You may have heard of a game called Rogue Trader. And Rogue Trader is published and produced by Owlcat Games. And allegedly, Owlcat Games may or may not have Russian investors. So, I even inadvertently, if this is true, people are profiting from Owlcat Games via Rogue Trader to Russian investors who are then paying Russian taxes. So this is something that I didn't know until yesterday. And I did want to say, I'm very sorry. And I don't know what else I can really say to make up for it. And I'm sure a lot of people didn't know this. This was kind of doing the rounds a couple of months ago. I didn't drop onto my radar until yesterday. But basically, if you are upset that I promoted a game by Owlcat, which may or may not have Russian investors, I do apologize. I just didn't know. I thought because it was a licensed Warhammer product, it would probably be okay. Okay. So that's all. Basically, from me, personally, all I can do is apologize. Okay. If you are upset that I've done that, I understand. If you are disappointed in me, I understand. But honestly, I didn't know. It was a Warhammer licensed product. I was contacted through Lurkit, which is like an influencer like game platform, and I was like, "It's Warhammer. That'd be cool. We'll do it." And I obviously didn't know, and I don't think a lot of people knowed, which is not like an excuse of my regard. But I'm only human. I make mistakes, and if you are upset by that, then honestly, I understand, and I do truly apologize. But it's not something that I will be promoting anymore. Not only is the fact the game, I didn't enjoy the game, but also I won't be going, "Oh yeah, Rogue Trader is cool." It's just I didn't do my due diligence, basically, and I wanted to apologize. But I thought we could look at this and have a look at what people have been saying about it, okay? Now, I appreciate everyone who's kind of saying it's not your fault, don't blame yourself. I should have looked into it. I should have searched Owlcat Studios controversy before promoting it on stream. But I kind of just didn't do that because I had no idea, and it's a Warhammer licensed product. And maybe Games Workshop didn't know, which is why they've been promoting it and supporting it, you know? It's I didn't want to like brush it off either, you know? I could just be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know." I don't want to brush it off. I just want to make sure that I'm clear to anyone who may be offended or is upset. I am sorry. I had no idea. If I would have known, I obviously wouldn't, but I am only human. I do make mistakes, okay? So I just wanted to like put that out there as like a statement of I made a big fuck up, and I'm sorry, basically. But anyway, so I'll read the rest of the article. Again, it's Daily Mail, but we've got more to look at as well. I hate Daily Mail, but you know, let's see what they said. In December, Owlcat released a game called Rogue Trader on platforms including Sony and Xbox. The game's branding features the Warhammer logo prominently designated as an official licensed product, indicating it has Games Workshop stamp of approval. A statement from the moral rating agency, an organization that collects data on companies doing business in Russia, said people who play Warhammer or other Owlcat games are indirectly supporting Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Games Workshop could have chosen to license to a partner without Russian links. Now, obviously, I don't think Games Workshop knew that it had Russian links. I probably didn't realize because the company is actually based in Cyprus, but it has allegedly Russian investors and Russian employees. So just wanted to... I don't think when they first got the game up and running, they knew that or they had an issue with that because obviously pre-2022, people were pretty okay with Russia to a point, from what I understand. I'm not a war expert. I'm not a international politician. I'm just a guy who plays Warhammer, and there's some Warhammer drama happening, okay? And I just wanted to talk about it. Just so I don't want someone coming in being like, well, the Russians, we've always hated the Russians, or we've always loved the Russians. I don't know. I'm just talking about it, okay? There's only so I've got a bit of understanding. I've got not a lot of it, you know. But a spokesman for Before Ukraine, a group aiming to stop global firms dealing with Russia, added, "This is shameful corporate behavior." When contacted by the Mail on Sunday, Owlcat said it previously had a development house in Russia, but its teams left the country in 2022 and it no longer operates there, which is probably why a lot of people thought this was fine. One of Owlcat's backers was GEM Capital, a Russian investment house founded in 2017 by Anatoly Palai, a former executive at Russia's state-backed oil and gas giant Gazprom. Owlcat was said to have received at least $1 million in funding from GEM. Palai started energy firm's first oil... whoever this is. But basically, one of his partners was Mark Garber, who was on the board of a Russian firm founded by sanctioned oligarch Oleg Deripaska. I don't know any of these people. It just doesn't look very good. GEM's current portfolio includes investment in Cyprus-based video game studio Mundfish, which Ukraine accuses of spreading pro-Russian propaganda. So there's another game studio which you might want to avoid if you are upset by this. But essentially, there was these tweets that came out as well from AIN. One of the trader has been released. This is in December, which is obviously when it came out. I had no idea about this, but you know. Owlcat has recently released its game Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, Steam, etc. Shares the ex-users discovered that the studio continuously displays chauvinism against Ukrainians. So basically, being big cunts towards Ukraine and being big racist and thinking they're better than everyone else. That's basically what that means. I didn't know what that means. I had to look it up. A lot of Russia's wealthy, those who would be the investors, have direct ties to Russian leadership and super corrupt. But if they aren't, any money going back to Russia helps their economy. If they aren't, any money. I don't know what that sentence means. Essentially, if you have an investor in a company, the investor is making money from that company is sending money to them, they will then have money, which will then be taxed in Russia, which will then go towards the Russian government, which is indirectly supporting a war. That's basically where we're at. Will the warsheets tax moved from HQ to St. Petersburg to Cyprus too? It's tough, better you talk about it for awareness, though. Yeah, it's just a bit of a yikers by the sound of it. The Owlcat Game Studio is well-known game dev studio, the developer of the Pathfinder series and the upcoming Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. Founded in Moscow in 2016, the studio's official headquarters in Cyprus. However, as of January 2023, it continued hiring for its office in Moscow, leading many to believe the Nicosia headquarters is just a way to avoid being sanctioned by Western countries and distance itself from the terrorist state. So, even this article alleges that they've just got this headquarters in Cyprus just so they don't look bad, basically. Expecting the rich to pay taxes is somewhat naive. You know what? Fair. Well, you know. At the same time, the studio's leading executives called Ukrainian chauvinistic slurs and hired people in occupied Crimea in 2014. So yeah, I don't know what these tweets are saying, but essentially using ethnic slurs in Russian towards Ukrainians from the lead cinematic artist of Owlcat. Meet Nikolai Somborsky, Alcat's lead cinematic artist. He used to grace Twitter with ethnic slurs against Ukrainians. Classy move, right? When called out, he pulled a Houdini, deleted his account, but guess what? These tweets may be gone, but the stench lingers. Oh, and let's not forget Anatoly Shestov, Alcat's executive producer. He apparently played footsie with Russia's occupation of Crimea, doing business there and flaunting it on social media because who needs to respect international law anyway? After the studio was called out, Alcat simply went on a spree blocking these accounts. Alcat, the game's company that hears no evil, sees no evil. They were made aware of these issues, but silence speaks louder than words. In fact, inquiries were met with a ban spree. Ignorance is bliss. Right, said someone on Twitter. So, not a good look. Not great, to be honest. Not every Russian is at fault with the war, so why blame a video game company? Because if a video game company is indirectly, supporting the war by the people working there, saying some pretty sketchy things on Twitter, but also if the company is, because of sanctions on Russia, companies aren't supposed to work with Russia because then they are making money and they can use that money for bad things, basically. Obviously, not every Russian is saying, you know, I love war. I don't think that's the case. But if you're working with a company in Russia and then they make the money and then some of the money goes towards the government, that's not good. You know? I bet Peter is still upset he can't buy the laziest Prime Minister Lieutenant. Anyway, essentially, Games Workshop said they weren't going to be trading in Russia because of the war. And then this company is potentially indirectly working with Russia. I've promoted it. Games Workshop has promoted it. Loads of people have promoted it, probably unknowingly regarding this. And basically, people are saying it's probably not a very good look. But I wanted to clarify that it isn't a good look. And I'm not happy that I did promote it, but I also didn't know. So, again, I just wanted to kind of like bring this to light because I didn't know anything about it until yesterday, but it's in the Daily Mail, so it's obviously old news. But I just wanted to, like, if you didn't know, now you're aware, you can do with this information as you like, you know? Small fish in comparison, but EU is still buying oil and gas from Russia. Potentially. Potentially, I don't know. I'm not like a international law expert. I just wanted to tell people that what I found, you know. I'm sure GW not look into this too well, and now they are probably way too deep into the contract to do anything about it, so they're going to ignore it. Yeah, I don't think Games Workshop will make an announcement, honestly. I think they'll just hope it just, like, gets left under the carpet, but again, all of this was coming out in December. All of this was coming out in December, and it was only in the Daily Mail today, and not today, yesterday, I think. And I've only just found out about it, which is quite surprising. I'm surprised there's not been a bit more of like uproar, you know, like a bit more of an uproar. I don't know. I don't support my government selling arms to anyone who will pay, but I still have to pay taxes. The world is shit. Yeah, literally, Decknell. It's very that. It's very that. But anyway, that's what I've learned. Again, if you were offended, I do apologize. I did want to bring it to light. I've uninstalled it. I ain't going to be playing it again. I would probably wasn't going to anyway, but still, definitely not now. But I just wanted to make people aware if they hadn't seen that or hadn't heard about that, because I think it is important to know these things if you are wanting to support, like, depending on your moral grounding, I guess. You can decide to do that with that information, whatever you like. I'm not saying to do anything with it, but as long as you've got that knowledge, then you can decide what you want to do. Basically, that's what I wanted to say. Chat decides your penance. Maybe not. maybe just let that one lie. Maybe I dread to think what chat would want me to do. But yeah, I thought it was interesting and a bit sad, to be honest. Why can't we ever have nice things, you know? I boycotted it. Yeah, fair. Oh, I can't afford it. Yeah, like, I know a lot of people have been enjoying it. I know it's like, obviously, the latest 40k game. We seem to be getting one every year. But it's like the latest 40k game. But it was just one of those things. Again, it's just kind of like me bringing it to light rather than like going, no, you can't buy this ever. You can do what you want. I don't care. But if you were against the war in Ukraine, then maybe you probably don't want to buy the Rogue Trader. Maybe. But that's up to you. I don't care. But anyway, where were we? Probably not the right song to put on. But there we go. We'll put some chill music on. And I know for a fact, there's going to be someone in chat that's going to be like, what about this? And what about that? And what about this? Maybe you shouldn't do this then. And it's like, you can say what you want. I don't care. You can what about me all you like. I'm not going to respond. But like, I'm just telling you about a situation. I'm not saying what you can and can't do. Okay. The Mundfish game where everything goes to shit and there's an infighting in Russian military versus Russian side is definitely propaganda for how great Russia is. This is sarcasm. Have I even heard of Mundfish? Atomic Heart. Oh, right, okay. I know Atomic Heart. What about the rice cooker on low in the kitchen? I'm more offended you don't own a rice cooker. Guys, I'm not buying a rice cooker, okay? It's not going to happen. 24-hour rice cooking stream. 24 hours? How much rice will I have after 24 hours? Not a lot with the one that takes an hour. Cheers, Oscar. Don't sponsor any more bad steaks. I'll try my best. I'll try my best. All companies would likely link to Saudi or Russian money. That might be the case, but that's just a guess. You just don't... Again, you can do what the information you like. If you want to continue, if you want to support that company, that's fine. I don't care. At least you know now. At least you know where your money's going. Allegedly, anyway. You know? It's, I'm telling you the information to learn. You don't have to do anything. I'm not saying then all companies are bad. A lot of companies are bad, you know. I'm not saying every company you fucking can't buy from because of this, you know. There's lots of things that happen in China that isn't good. There's lots of things that happen in Russia that might be linked to that. There's lots of Saudi links or whatever. I don't know. I don't care, right? I'm telling you about a situation, about a thing that's very relevant in our hobby. You can use that information how you like, okay? If you choose to ignore it, that's on you. At least you know. It's better than not knowing, okay? That's the kind of point I'm trying to make, okay? Me personally, I probably won't play that game. And I'm disappointed in myself for advertising it. Because if that is true, then that's not something I want to be supporting, okay? But you might be like, I don't care. And that's great. That's on you, you know? I disagree, but that's on you. I'm not interested. You can have your own opinion. At least now, you've got some more information about that. So for you to be like, I don't care. Because even though I know this now, and that's great. Because it's better to like have the information and choose to ignore it than to not have the information and be misled. Which is what I felt like. You know? I've heard a company called Hellstormwargaming endorses child labor for painting. He's 16, okay? Look, he's 15. He's old enough to have a Saturday job. I didn't ask him to paint them. Drive yourself insane trying to avoid every pitfall and every hobby you participate in when it comes to not giving money to baddies. Yes, of course. You know? Everyone, you can sit there and say, Mikey, you've got an iPhone. You're a cunt because you support child labor. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Fine. You're right. However, at least I know. And I've made that choice. You know? You can make your choice now. You are well informed. Or at least you're more informed. Why are you being... sorry, I read the wrong message. I shall use that information. Definitely not buy the game. I wasn't going to buy anyway. Well, at least now you can sleep soundly knowing that you're not supporting something you might not like. You know? Or you are supporting something you don't like, but you don't mind. Whatever. British Esports Association partnered with Saudi. I let my students know this info and let them make their own mind up whether to compete. Still under them. It was a nope. Yeah, that's that's good because again, it's one of those things. You're like just giving them information and letting them decide, which is what you want. You don't want to be misled. You don't want to go into it unknowingly. You know. Like, again, like, I sat here and apologized because if I would have known that, I probably wouldn't have supported it. You know, I wouldn't have promoted it. But I did because I didn't know. You know, and that's my fault. I should know. I should check these things. But I thought, well, it's a Games Workshop licensed product. That's probably going to be okay. I probably don't need to look into it. But then you could search Owlcat Studios controversy, and there's lots of weird shit there. You know? There's lots of, like, spying malware that they've been installing with some of the previous games. There's the Russian ties. There's loads of weird shit. And, like, it's not good. And I'm very sad that I've promoted it. But I wanted to come on here and say that I'm sad that I promoted it. Because I'm not happy that I promoted it. If you know all this information and you don't care, that's on you. But at least I haven't influenced you unknowingly. That's what I care about. Okay? No ethical consumption under capitalism. Well, no, of course. Hey, don't know how you doing, bud. JB, hello, mate. Give me some good news. Take care. Goodbye. The good news is I think we're done with that conversation. Now there's an interesting thing. There's an interesting video from Guerrilla Miniature Games the other day. So Guerrilla Miniature Games, Ash Barker from Guerrilla Miniature. He's got rid of that theme tune, which makes me very sad. He's gone through a bit of a rebranding recently. Which is very fun to watch, actually. I think it's been quite interesting. But he's basically started his own podcast called Inside Tabletop, which is his new podcast that he's releasing like semi-frequently. And it's basically like interviewing people in and around the hobby, whether that's like ex-GW staff, other ex-staff. He had like someone from EA who used to work on FIFA on there, which is quite interesting. And he did a podcast with a store owner, I believe, a game store owner, called Is Games Workshop a Monopoly in Tabletop Wargaming? Mrs. Old intro, me too. And there's some like interesting points in this podcast. Now I'm not going to sit here and watch a 48-minute podcast and then talk over it, but I thought there's like I've like garnered up some timestamps that we could have a listen to. But it's a very interesting video. I definitely recommend giving it a listen. It's quite interesting. Now it is a lot of it is opinion. It's a game store owner talking and an influencer essentially. Talking about like monopolies. Like neither of them are qualified to be talking about what isn't a monopoly. The answer is no, and that's the conclusion they get to. But there's lots of interesting things along the way that like I think are quite interesting in regards to stuff like the amount of space in a game store that is dedicated to Warhammer, not just 40k AOS, but like all Warhammer, all of the boxed games, etc. Kill Team, Underworld, Old World, etc. It was quite interesting to listen to because like they're not a monopoly, but they dominate so much of the space, and they kind of like they have a finger in every pie, you know, like every other game that is available, every setting that is available as a tabletop game that isn't Warhammer, except for historical. That's the only one they can't do because it's, you know, because it's historical. they have a Warhammer equivalent of, which I think is actually like a really smart thing. Like, look at like skirmish games, Marvel Crisis Protocol, Shatterpoint. There's skirmish games. There's Kill Team. There's Warcry. There's Underworld, which is arguably a skirmish game. You know, there's Necromunda, etc. You know, obviously it's a different setting, but it's a similar type of game. You want old fantasy battle with movement trays? You got Song of Ice and Fire. You've got Kings of War. You've got Conquest, Battle of Kings, or whatever it's called. You've also got the old world, which is Warhammer. You know, you got sci-fi tabletop. You've got Star Wars Legion. You know, you've got Mantic's games, Firefight, or whatever they're called. Sorry, I don't know other companies because I'm stuck in the pit as well. And then you've also got 40k. You know, they fingered my pie. They did. So it's just quite interesting. I thought it was quite interesting. Like the whole podcast as a whole. So I definitely recommend it. But I've pulled out 3 things which I thought were quite interesting. Which we can. I'm going to like listen to a small snippet and then talk about it. But yeah, it just made it just that point. We're not actually going to look at that point. I definitely recommend giving it a listen. But that point of like Games Workshop has such a large wall because like you have 40k, have Age of Sigmar as like a section because they're the 2 biggest games. And then every other game of theirs takes up space because it doesn't replace the space for 40k of Age of Sigmar. You just expand the wall. You expand the shelf of Games Workshop stuff. So Games Workshop just takes up so much space in game stores these days. It's hard for other games to compete because they're all separate competing versus Games Workshop, which is a monolithic giant in there, obviously, but it's also multiple game systems all together as one. So you're going to look at Warhammer as a whole rather than that one game over there that's like fantasy battles, or that one game over there that's like a sci-fi skirmish. Which is funny, which I thought was really interesting. But anyway, it's an interesting one. I'm just going to pull out some interesting things. So I haven't got the timestamps ready, so I'm going to do probably a little bit of backtracking, trying to find it. I thought this point was quite interesting.
They have really cemented.
So this is about Warhammer and YouTube as a whole.
You know, whatever, Alibaba, and have that get half as a retail chain.
That's
no
right.
one else. They are the closest other people come is having a call center or a trade account department to do cold calls and have a relationship with retailers that is more than just an order form on their website.
It's not this point.
Nobody else is actively an entire industry of that. So of course they have that size capture.
Absolutely. And what we've seen happen.
So this is talking about like
we're
going to get onto like YouTube as a whole of Warhammer. That's one the thing I thought was quite interesting.
All in on this, like a part of this world, but like the online, like social media world and the YouTube world and the content making world. They in the last what was Warhammer community, like 7 years old, 6 years old. They have really cemented, I think, that part of their monopoly.
They are the algorithm.
They are the algorithm, right?
Yeah.
Where they just they're
the point they're talking about is like Warhammer community is like he mentions it as the website, but really what he's talking about is the monopoly that Games Workshop has over the online space in YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that. Because Warhammer community was built off the fact of like Games Workshop giving out product to certain channels, me being one of them now, but Games Workshop giving out product to certain channels to like make content with, you know? Games Workshop bankrolls the models for a lot of channels. They don't pay for content. They have paid for content with Game Night recently. But like they basically send loads of people models and hope they do content on it because it's good advertising for the YouTuber. For somebody in my position, it's great having loads of models arrive and being able to talk about them because we can plan videos in advance and it makes it a bit easier because we have models. You know, we don't have to buy them. You know, it means that video is a little bit cheaper to make, which is cool. But for Games Workshop, it's great marketing because everyone just makes videos about the thing. Like think about. One second, my hair is annoying. I was supposed to have it cut today, but it was really busy. Think about like a Saturday morning when a big codex launches. How many videos, how many articles, how many posts on Instagram there is about a new mini, a new codex, etc., or whatever. There is so much marketing there because as a YouTuber, I know I can get views from talking about the latest thing, you know. I can get views from doing that, unless I'm doing it in ASMR. That seems to be the best way to do it. But like, I can put out a video, I can make a diorama, I can do a painted video, I can talk about rules, I can do whatever about this new product because I know people are interested. But a lot of that is kind of like a self-serving circle, I think, of like, people have come to expect to see the new thing on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, on the day of pre-order. But then people, because they've seen it, because they get sent it, people make content, then people see the content, then people order, and then they send more. I don't know what the circle means, but basically I think it's become a self-fulfilling thing with where Games Workshop have sent that much stuff and people make that much content on a pre-order day that people have come to expect to watch that content on a pre-order day and look and go out for it. And it is all marketing. Like a lot of the time, don't get me wrong, like us YouTubers, we make excellent content that isn't just marketing. But a lot of it, well, realistically, all of it is marketing. Well, that's the theory. A game theory. This is the theory, guys. So that's like what people have come to expect to watch. It's like you get on pre-order day, you can go watch the stuff that's going on pre-order, see it in action, see a painting video, you know. But yeah. Then this is like kind of like a thing about that. What really happens is you go online to buy it at 10 a.m. It's already sold out. That's another issue, but yeah, I know.
And
you range it, all the content creators who will have it. True. I took yours, Andy. All the shit you want, I got it first.
In such an ingenious way where they just made everybody else do the work for them, right?
If it's gotten big enough, if they've spent enough money to make Warhammer as a brand be big enough that it's now worth people making Mr. Beast style content about Warhammer, that says that the level of engagement they've driven through their marketing structure is significant. If you can make I ordered these 10 hobby products off Temu / whatever,
down with Temu,
Alibaba, and have that get 500,000 views, but there's enough people interested in that and it's picking up algorithmically enough that people can make a living doing that, you have gone from zero where everyone's a fan and no one has any, like, it's all just tangentially related. It's about Warhammer, but it's still kind of the open seas algorithmically to there is one signal and one broadcast, and it's 100% about the word Warhammer.
Correct.
Right.
Absolutely.
And
that's the thing. He's basically going to say that like Warhammer is the only the algorithm for a lot of content creators because trying to cover anything else in the tabletop space doesn't work, and we've heard that all the time. You know, like Games Workshop is killing my channel. Very funny bit 18 months ago. Where loads of channels came out and said, Games Workshop's killing my channel, because basically they said that they couldn't cover other tabletop games because they didn't get enough traction, and I had to put Warhammer in the title in some way. Which is quite interesting, but it is right. It just shows you, all it makes me realise is that tabletop as a thing is so niche, but Warhammer is a little bit more broad, you know? There's that really shit meme that's going around that's saying the normies are coming after Warhammer. Like, yeah, a little bit, and that's actually going to be quite good because more people getting into it means it's going to grow. More people to roll dice with, the company's going to get bigger. We're all going to be great, okay? We're all going to have a great time. But I think it's just interesting that kind of like Warhammer is the algorithm because the miniature market is dominated by Warhammer, and it's the only one that works. But I think, on the flip side, it's actually just that Warhammer is a little bit more popular because it has this multifaceted thing that a lot of other miniature companies don't have, such as lore, hobby, and game, where not all of the other tabletop games have. They don't all have an excessive lore, like a well-regarded hobby and a game as well. They have like a bit of everything. Sometimes, a lot of the time they have a bit of everything, but most of the time they focus on a couple, you know? And I don't think it's that Warhammer is the algorithm. I think it's that Warhammer is just more popular. And wargaming as a whole, without Games Workshop, is dead. I think it's too small, you know? As I think someone said like all of these other games wouldn't exist without Games Workshop. I do think there is some truth to that. I think all of these other miniature war games would be so niche. Like, we're already in a niche, and then you're looking at like tiny niches within that. It's not that Warhammer is the algorithm, it's that if you are doing tabletop, everything else is so small compared that games Warhammer looks like it's the dominant one, but it's only the dominant one. It's because it's the only popular one. All the other ones are just too niche, you know? Niche within a niche. It's like trying to do model railway videos and only focusing on Hornby. That Hornby, oh my god, that's crazy. They're so dominant. But no one knows any other train brand. If I say Hornby, you know what I'm on about. But if I say any other train brand, you've got no idea what I'm talking about. It's it's just an interesting one, you know? It's like, I'm trying to think of something else. It's like, it's just like, yeah, I don't think that it's like Warhammer is like the only thing available, but it's the people are just more interested in Warhammer, probably because of the whole marketing shtick they had of the Warhammer community sending loads of things out, so everyone makes content every Saturday for free. It's just a bunch of free marketing because like cost of sending models out is nothing. The cost to make models is high, but the cost to send out the models once they're made is low, you know? Name one of the model train brands. Exactly. I can't even think of one. I used to collect model trains. I'm in charge of product ordering of GW in a local game store I work at. I curate stock based on what the store communities play. We don't stock it all, and it still takes up about a third of our display space. It's because it's so large, right? GW marketing has always been so far behind the curve. It's a popularity that drives a monopoly, not any GW big brain. Yeah, the marketing for GW is dated, you know? Like sending free stuff out. Look at every game company sends out Steam codes for free, you know? Every game company. Any game you can think of, you can get a free Steam code if you're a YouTuber or whatever. But like no other company is doing that, which is wild, you know? And if they are doing it, they're like archaic about it. They're like, right, you can have this one model for free that costs us pennies to make. But you have to make a video, you have to make a positive review, you have to do this, you have to do that. And it's like, it's just like no other company's doing it. Like just send the free product out and then someone will make something, you know? Some companies do, you know? Some companies do. But not all of them do, which is quite surprising, you know? But then also, there's no other company that's like releasing stuff as like fast paced as GW, and all they're doing is just releasing one little thing every week, you know? Sometimes they do a big launch, but a lot of the time it's like one thing a week or one thing every 2 weeks now. But yeah, I think the way they just went, yeah, we'll just send everything out and people will make content on it. Other companies expect that, but also other companies can't expect that because the niche is too small, if that makes sense. Because you're in a niche and a niche, if they do send stuff out, you make a video on it, it's probably not going to get a load of views because you're talking about a small product as well. You know, it's really interesting. It's really interesting. I don't know what the right answer is for everyone. Games Workshop isn't a monopoly, but they just dominate the market because they're massive compared, you know? And it is the rich get richer type vibe. It's that they get bigger, they make more games, they make more product, they release more product than everyone else, they have more games systems than anyone else, they take up more space than anyone else. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know? Like every other company is making small stuff compared, you know? If one company is making the same size product as Kill Team, for example, that is insanely good for that company. But they are just as big as one product line of this larger company, you know? Which is just like, I just think it's really interesting. Hobbies is because of GW. Yeah, of course. I'm not disagreeing. I totally agree. I think that is the case, you know? They probably also hire all the good and relevant people because they can afford competitive salaries. Not the case. Disagree. Well, anyone would take this job, mercenary. Why won't you take a low paycheck? Anyone would be lucky to do that job. You know, with the highest paid employees at Games Workshop are like earning like 30k. Don't think that's the case. Look at the interview on the painting phase and the open statements that James Hewitt, who now works or writes games for Modifius, he was only like 17 grand, maybe 12 or 15 grand or something. Very less than 20 grand a year. Made Blood Bowl. Made the new Blood Bowl. Less than 20 grand a year. So just to like clarify, yeah, the hobby is as big as it because of Games Workshop. It's not because of competitive salaries. I think it's the complete opposite, you know. So just look up James Hewitt wages or James Hewitt Games Workshop, and you'll like get a load of stuff. Doing continuous product releases is how you stay relevant in the internet age. You always have to have something new to bubble up through the algorithm. That's another thing they mentioned in this podcast, which I thought was fun. Like this store owner, I can't remember his name now, I do apologize. This store owner was kind of like, when he has people come in, they look at games that aren't Games Workshop, they're kind of like, is this dead? Is this a dead game? Because like, even though like in the age of like, in the age of digital, we don't have a lot of physical shit anymore, you know? And that, but like war games are very physical. They have physical rules or online rules that are, you know, they're not like on a server somewhere that you need access to. You know, like Games Workshop app is an example of if they just decided to turn it off one day, you're fucked. But every rule set pretty much is a PDF, you know, or it's a book, or it's equivalent. It's downloadable. You can have it. You can. It's have like they have like a tangible thing that you can print out or whatever. Every war game ever released, barring 40k with the app, but they have indexes, and they have codexes as well. So it's like basically every war game you can play now. You can play it in 100 years, 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years, as long as you've got access to those rules, you know, and the models. You can play it whenever. But the problem is if a game isn't getting updated, one, it can get solved. So you can suddenly have the best list. For example, let's say Games Workshop shut down last week before the balance data slate or whatever. And they were no longer doing rules updates or releases. And they were playing 40k. You could solve 40k. You buy the best out of that list, the Wraithguard list. It's the best list ever. You will never lose because you have the best list. The game has been solved. Which is why constant updates to rules are good. Because what it does, it keeps things fresh. It keeps things interesting. It keeps things changing. Whilst you might find updates annoying, it changes the game. It changes what you need. It changes what you want on the battlefield. It changes what army you're going to play against. And it keeps the game fresh and interesting. But that's the thing. That's the thing, because when games aren't getting model releases, when they aren't getting new books, when they aren't getting new models, when they aren't getting new factions or whatever, they aren't getting new additions, the game becomes stale because it gets solved and people know how things are going to go. And it feels boring because you can just buy the best thing you like, either the best army because you like the look of it, or the best army because it's the best on the tabletop. And it gets solved and you just know what's going to happen. There's nothing to like shake it up, you know. That's what Games Workshop have. They are constantly shaking it up with rules updates. They're constantly shaking it up with new releases, constantly shaking it up with new codex, you know. A new character is added to a codex or an army book or whatever, can completely change how that army functions. And now everybody's like, oh, that army's changed. How do I play against it? Now I've got a new opponent with a new army that I've never played before. How does my army change to play against that, you know? Whereas, like, not a lot of companies are doing that. They're not doing it fast enough. They think that rules updates too fast are bad, when in a lot of the case, they're just keeping it fresh. Now, some people don't like a lot of rules updates, and I understand that, you know. I understand that a lot of people don't like the rules updates because they're too fast. They play once a month, they play once every 3 months, and that's fine. I get that. But then you go back to the point of, like, you can play the game before the rules updates. You don't have to use that. You know, you can do whatever. You can do what you like. I think that's interesting. That's very interesting. So I'll just have a quick listen, little bit longer listen. But there's another point that I thought was interesting about 3D printing as well.
I think that is in and of itself interesting. Mm-hmm. That most companies have given up in the digital space.
So if your avenue is like you've kind of given up on the, like, you know, the recruitment space, it's so unbelievably dominated by Games Workshop. And then the same thing goes for the, you know, the digital space. I see companies saying, okay, well, we want to try and maybe get them when they're, you know, in like maybe not interested in the game they're currently playing. We're going to try to recapture that customer and like get them to try something new. So that seems to be the offering that other companies are kind of like playing on.
Yeah. Well,
there's they go back to this point, which we're going to go on to in a minute, where they start talking about like hate buying alternative games, like people who like stop playing GW because they are like hate buying. They're like hate buying other games, like fuck Games Workshop. I want to play. I hate the old world. I'm gonna play Kings of War. Get fucked. Which I think is quite funny. But that market must be so small. But I think there are companies that are kind of relying on that. Like War Machine was like an example they brought up. I'd really recommend listening to it. I think it's an interesting chat. It does come across as, because I watched a video this morning as well about the death. It was on CoffeeZilla Extras, and it was like the death of podcast hosts, and like people on podcasts just start rambling about shit they don't know anything about. And then I listened to this, and I did start getting that vibe a little bit. It just made me start thinking about that. I'm just like, when does these? The example was like CoffeeZilla getting asked about like pronouns on the Joe Rogan Experience, and it's just like CoffeeZilla's not the person to ask, and he said that on the podcast, which I thought was interesting. Anyway, that's by the by. What was I saying? I was talking about people hate buying. Yeah, like people hate buying other games is quite funny because like the market share must be so small, and all you're doing is you're trying to rely on the negativity of the big company in the space to sell your game. That surely can't work. Couldn't disagree more. I might need clarity on which bit you mean. It's more like a pro sports team playing some dumb pub team who scrapped together a couple of pounds for their kit. My friends couldn't afford the game anymore, so I don't play 40k. Oh, that's two different people. I just saw the scene and got confused. Do you disagree with me, Congo, or you disagree with something that was said on the video? I'm a bit confused. With them. Oh, right, okay. It's, yeah, they just kind of... There's some things that I don't think they should be commented on because I started thinking of that video, you know? It's really easy to trap into thinking your podcast clout equals to you having the right opinion all the time. Yeah, like, yeah, the video, it was in it. That was a good one as well. I'd recommend that on CoffeeZilla Extras. It was about podcasts, like the death of podcast hosts or something. And they're just like kind of, because this store owner trying to did like, because they start talking about 3D printing in a minute. And he like deflects off it, and then Ash brings it back, and then deflects again, and Ash brings it back again. He says, I don't want to talk about it, which I thought was interesting. You disagree that other publishers have given up? There's just a huge disparity in resources, especially when everything is so expensive in the minute. Yeah, I think it's just, I don't think they've given up because Games Workshop is a thing. I think they gave up because of like the financial difficulties of trying to run a game in this space because it is so small. But the next topic they go over is about like Games Workshop proxies, essentially, the lack of a better term, like Games Workshop 3D printable alternatives, where people are essentially buying and printing fake Warhammer, in inverted commas, like fake Warhammer stand-ins that are for a game. One-page rules is probably a good example of, I think, what they kind of allude to, but don't really say so. You can play your game with our models. However, they also look like Games Workshop models, so you can kind of play those games. Where it's like some designers, there's people doing really well. And I work with a lot of companies that are kind of doing that thing. And I'm like, you know what? Fucking get it. That is sick, you know? But it is quite interesting how we've kind of had an explosion in 3D printable. The 3D printing market has kind of exploded in the last 4 or 5 years. But a lot of it is kind of like Warhammer proxies, you know? Because that just seems to be like the way to sell it these days. Like why would I be interested in your models in your game when I can play Warhammer? And then the 3D printer companies that are designing them, the 3D designers are kind of like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. So I made some kind of Warhammer stuff, and then you can just print that and play with that. And everyone's like, yeah, let's do it. Which I also think is quite interesting. Of like some people are just kind of like, yeah, fuck it. Let's just make some pretend Warhammer and we'll sell those instead. And I think that's great. But that's quite interesting because that just shows you how big Games Workshop is in the space, where they take up all of the space in the hobby shop, all the people are playing their games, and then there's people who are making livings, or multiple people, small companies making a living off making fake Warhammer, essentially, unless inverted commas, for lack of a better term. You know? I watched a talk with Alessio Calvatore, the games expert, a few years ago, and he said essentially skirmish games can't have the longevity required to make serious money. I wonder why. You know? Why is that? Is it because you just don't have to buy a lot? The thing is with it is like, with like Warhammer and stuff, there's like the cost to produce it is obviously very cheap, but like design is expensive. But with like skirmish games, you just don't need a lot and you can keep reusing that. So the only way to make money is to keep selling stuff. How do you keep selling stuff to people in a skirmish game? Because a lot of the time, the joy, the USP, the best part about a skirmish game is the fact that it's cheap to get into because you don't need a lot. So how do you keep making money when your game is pretty much designed on being the fact that it's cheap to get into? You know? But even proxy for other companies, the bolt action minis are pretty rubbish, but where is the market for bolt action proxies? Yeah, exactly. It just doesn't happen, right? You know, it just doesn't happen. But the Games Workshop is so huge because of they're just so large in the market that people are just piggybacking off them, making, again, lack of a better term, fake Warhammer. You know, not Gucci. Real Gucci Warhammer. It's the same but different. And then they're just like living the dream. And again, I'm just like, fucking get it, whatever. I don't care. That's great. To be fair, there's loads of Star Wars Legion proxies as well. Yeah, but is that because of the fact that it's a great game and people want alternatives, or is that because it's Star Wars? You know? It's probably the latter because they already had Star Wars models because people like printing Star Wars stuff. So. It takes the same amount of time to make the rules, but rather than buy an army, you buy a few minis. Costs the same though, sculpting tool and development, etc. Yeah, so like skirmish games won't take as long to write because there's less going on, but they'll take a long time to write. They'll take a long time, the same amount of marketing, the same amount of publishing time, same amount of packaging, you know, but then you just don't buy as much. It's just weird. It's weird. But anyway, I think that's an interesting talk. I'd definitely go and give it a listen. And in the back of the, before you do listen to that, the video I mentioned, here's video recommendation, okay? It's Coffee Zilla Extras. This one, he's just started uploading. He had a few videos anyway, but he just started uploading loads. And it was our podcast making us dumb. This is a great video, okay? It's 10 minutes, and I would recommend it. It was because, does he pull up the Joe Rogan? I think he does. This is the example. I'm just going to watch this now. This is the example. The first example. He talked about himself, but this is the example he gave about like podcast experts coming out with hot takes. Okay.
Talk about them, including my own. But we'll start with Eric Weinstein. He's a hedge fund director and podcast host. He's one of these guys that gets brought on all the time as some smart guy, a public intellectual. Well, here he is.
PhD in maths, by the way.
In a clip on this Chris Williamson podcast. The title of the clip is, "What Do Modern Men Want in a Man?" Eric Weinstein. Well, let's remind ourselves what Eric is. He has a PhD in mathematical physics, and he is a hedge fund director, a former hedge fund director. What does he know about modern women?
That, I paused it and just howled. I was just like, oh my God, that is so true. And I've never thought about that. Because people will just take this verbatim and just go and like spew it off. Like, oh yeah, I was listening to this podcast and this guy said, da 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 da. But he's got no credentials and he's got no backing to make any of the claims he's about to make. So if you want to watch a funny 10-minute video about podcasts that make you go, oh my fucking God, oh my God, I can't believe that. It was kind of like, it was like glass shatter moment, like mirror shatter moment. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I've like never clicked onto that or like never noticed that. That was funny. That was very, very funny. But he has a nice seat on a decent podcast mic. Yeah, literally. Let's invite this mathematician on a podcast to talk about what do modern women actually want in a man. What does he know? Anyway, great video. Great video. And that's the end of my video recommendations for this evening. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. I really appreciate you all. Thanks for the gift of memberships and thanks for becoming a member. If you'd like to support the channel, you can become a member as little as £1.99 a month. Ben Shapiro, Joe Rogan in a nutshell. Literally. Big yikes. But yeah, again, I recommend watching both of those videos. Watch the CoffeeZilla one first, then watch the second one. Because then you can hear the game store owner trying to deflect, which is quite funny about 3D printing because he doesn't want to talk about it because he's a game store owner. Why would he? But yeah. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'll be back Wednesday, Valentine's Day, by the way. Don't forget, Valentine's Day, Wednesday. I'll be back on Wednesday for the morning news when I'm sure we'll be talking about some interesting things where I've been cancelled for some reason and everyone hates me. Well, I'm sure we'll see. So, guys, lads and ladies and gentlemen, enemies and everyone in between, thanks so much for hanging out. I really appreciate you all. And I don't know, it's probably Varrick's member Monday, so I'm not going to redirect to him. Let's redirect to DC, because we do like redirecting to DC. Go and say hello to DC and say old world. Oh, what shall we say? Old world, best world. How's that? Old world equal best world. Bam that in chat, and I'll see you there. Thanks for checking out, and I'll see you Wednesday, my dude.